How many snaps did they run in the 14 personnel?
That's only for us.
100% of the snaps.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into 14P Fantasy. I am your host, Justin Wright. Today we're talking wide receivers, week 13, start sits. This is part one of many. We'll see how many we get to in the week. We got 6 names here. We got some wide receiver twos, some flexes, some sits. Let's get into it, though. Before we do, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like the video, drop a comment or a question if you have it for week 13. Obviously, we'll answer as many as we can leading up to, Thursday and then Sunday. All right, now let's get into it. Number 1 on our list is Jaylen Waddle versus the New York Giants. And Jaylen Waddle is a locked and loaded wide receiver 2, must start every week. The matchup here definitely helps. The Giants are just not very good. They get torched in the slot. Their slot corner, Darnay Holmes, is allowing the 5th most points to slot wide receivers per roto-baller. So if it's wrong, blame them. I take no responsibility. But honestly, Jaylen Waddle has broken out. Since he had that 29-point game in week 6, he is the wide receiver 2 in total points, from week 6 to 12. And he's the wide receiver 7 in points per game. He has just been a superstar. He is a volume-based superstar. Again, he's not a high yardage type of guy. He kills you in the slot with those short yardage outs, those short yardage curls. That's where he lives. And now he's getting some red zone work. We saw it last week. If he scores a touchdown, he's guaranteed over 20 points. The volume dictates it. So Jaylen Waddle, if you have him, he's a must start. Get him into your lineups. Second guy on the list, we have another rookie wide receiver. And while they're both wide receiver 2s, I am significantly less confident in Devonta Smith versus the Jets than I am, Jaylen Waddle versus anybody. But I get Devonta Smith is coming off back-to-back down weeks. Prior to that, he looked like to have truly broken out. And honestly, Devonta Smith goes as Jalen Hurts goes. That's really what dictates how well he plays. Devonta Smith is always good. He's always talented. He's always open. It's just a matter of if Jalen Hurts decides to, look like a quarterback that week. Obviously, that was not the case against the Giants last week. I think this is a get-right game for Jalen Hurts, or at least I hope it is. And if that's the case, that cannot happen without Devonta Smith performing. So as a back-end wide receiver 2, I think Devonta Smith should be in your lineups. The Jets are allowing the 8th most points over average to wide receivers. When wide receivers play the Jets, they score about 10% more than they typically do. So with that being said, Devonta Smith, back-end wide receiver 2. Again, a likely guy that should be in your lineups unless you got crazy depth. All righty. And now to the bad, we have Courtland Sutton. He's our only sit of part 1 here. But Courtland Sutton versus the Chiefs is, I don't really care who he's playing. I want no part of Courtland Sutton if Jerry Jeudy is active. Since Jerry Jeudy's come back, Courtland Sutton has an 11% target share, which is the lowest. It's lower than Jeudy. It's lower than Tim Patrick. And he has a 20% air yardage share, which is lower than Tim Patrick, and it's lower than Jerry Jeudy. If you don't know what that means, basically it's saying he is seeing fewer targets than Jeudy and Tim Patrick, and he has the potential for fewer yards than Jeudy and Tim Patrick because the ball is not going very far in the air. Just explaining that in layman's terms there. It's low leverage targets. It's low yardage. And again, all of that is leading to him only averaging 4.2 points a game when Jerry Jeudy's active. You can't play Courtland Sutton. I get the name and all that. Sit him down. Yeah, you should have been sitting him for the last couple of weeks to begin with. But if it's not clear, it's definitely clear now. You cannot play him. Moving on, we have Brandon Aiyuk versus Seattle. He's coming in as a wide receiver too. And it's not even because Deebo Samuel is out. The last 2 weeks, Deebo Samuel's really been more of a running back than he has been a wide receiver. 6 total targets the last 2 weeks for Deebo. So it's not as if all of a sudden this swath or, whatever the hell you want to call it, I can't think, is this crazy number of targets is coming to Brandon Aiyuk. He's already been getting that kind of, he has been playing 90% of snaps. He has seen his production increase week over week over the last month here. So he just comes in as a solid wide receiver 2. He's not jumping into that wide receiver 1 category for me right now. I don't think there's a ton of extra volume. He's just going to keep doing what he's doing, which is, be pretty damn solid the last few weeks here. So Brandon Aiyuk, I'm going back to him. But again, I'm not saying he is a must-start, gotta have him wide receiver 1. He's just a really good wide receiver 2. So, be prepared for that. Moving on, this picture. We have Hunter Renfrow versus Washington. Hunter Renfrow is a nice flex play like he has been all year. He is a extremely high floor wide receiver that needs to score a touchdown to be a wide receiver 2. That's really what it is. The volume is there. The yardage typically is not. Prior to week 12, Hunter Renfrow had 0 wide receiver 2 finishes where he did not score a touchdown. That's just kind of is what it is. And yes, he's significantly more likely to score a touchdown with Darren Waller out. So keep that in mind. But maybe, instead teams key on Hunter Renfrow more and take him out of the game just a little bit more than they're used to. If that happens, again, I do think he probably gets over 10 points, but I don't think he breaks into that wide receiver 2 category. He's a great high floor play. I don't think he is a, locked and loaded, gotta start him superstar like he has been, 3 of the last 4 weeks almost. And our last play, another rookie wide receiver. We have Elijah Moore, versus Philadelphia on the other side of that Devonta Smith matchup. Elijah Moore is a flex play, a wide receiver 3 on talent alone. That is all I can say. Zach Wilson is terrible. I mean, maybe Zach Wilson will be good. Right now, he is not. I tweeted it out last week, so if you're not following me over there, check it out. Elijah Moore was already a flex or a wide receiver 3 for me last week, strictly because of Zach Wilson, and he pretty much proved it out. You can't trust Zach Wilson to do anything. You have to trust Elijah Moore to make a big play. So because of that, I'm fine putting him as a flex play, but I am not forcing Elijah Moore into my lineups until Zach Wilson shows he's capable of being, a halfway decent starting quarterback. It's just not there. So I'm banking on talent. He has a flex play, but that is about it. All right, everybody. That's all I got for you. 6 quick hits there. If you got questions, drop them below. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the video, all that good stuff. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.
How many snaps did they run in the 14 personnel?
That's only for us.
100% of the snaps.